In the BitTorrent file distribution system, a torrent file is a computer file that contains metadata about files and folders to be distributed, and usually also a list of the network locations of trackers, which are computers that help participants in the system find each other and form efficient distribution groups called swarms. A torrent file does not contain the content to be distributed. It only contains information about those files, such as their names, sizes, folder structure, and cryptographic hash values for verifying file integrity. Depending on context, a torrent may be the torrent file or the referenced content. Torrent files are normally named with the extension torrent, as in MyFile.torrent. Background: typically, Internet access is asymmetrical, supporting greater download speeds than upload speeds, limiting the bandwidth of each download, and sometimes enforcing bandwidth caps and periods where systems are not accessible. This creates inefficiency when many people want to obtain the same set of files from a single source. The source must always be online and must have massive outbound bandwidth. The BitTorrent protocol addresses this by decentralizing the distribution, leveraging the ability of people to network peer-to-peer, among themselves. Each file to be distributed is divided into small information chunks called pieces. Downloading peers achieve rapid download speeds by requesting multiple pieces from different computers in the swarm. Once obtained, these pieces are usually immediately made available for download by others in the swarm. In this way, the burden on the network is spread among the downloaders, rather than concentrating at a central distribution hub or cluster. As long as all the pieces are available, peers can come and go. No one peer needs to have all the chunks, or to even stay connected to the swarm in order for distribution to continue among the other peers. A small torrent file is created to represent a file or folder to be shared. The torrent file acts as the key to initiating downloading of the actual content. Someone interested in receiving the shared file or folder first obtains the corresponding torrent file either by directly downloading it, or by using a magnet link. The user then opens that file in a BitTorrent client, which automates the rest of the process. In order to learn the Internet locations of peers which may be sharing pieces, the client connects to the trackers named in the torrent file, and/or achieves a similar result through the use of distributed hash tables. Then the client connects directly to the peers in order to request pieces and otherwise participate in a swarm. The client may also report progress to trackers, to help the tracker with its peer recommendations. When the client has all the pieces, it assembles them into a usable form. It may also continue sharing the pieces, elevating its status to that of seeder rather than ordinary peer. File structure: a torrent file is a specially formatted binary file. It always contains a list of files and integrity metadata about all the pieces, and optionally contains a list of trackers. A torrent file is a encoded dictionary with the following keys: announce, the URL of the tracker, info. This maps to a dictionary whose keys are dependent on whether one or more files are being shared, name, suggested file directory name where the file, is to be saved, piece length, number of bytes per piece. This is commonly 28 KB equals 256 a KB equals 262,144 a b. Pieces, a hash list. That is, a concatenation of each piece's SHA-1 hash. As SHA-1 returns a 160-bit hash, pieces will be a string whose length is a multiple of 160 bits, length, size of the file in bytes, files, a list of dictionaries each corresponding to a file. Each dictionary has the following keys: path, a list of strings corresponding to subdirectory names, the last of which is the actual file name, length, size of the file in bytes. All strings must be UTF-8 encoded. Extensions: a torrent file can also contain additional metadata defined in extensions to the BitTorrent specification. These are known as BitTorrent enhancement proposals. Examples of such proposals include metadata for stating who created the torrent, and when. Draft extensions: these extensions are under consideration for standardization. Distributed hash tables: BEP0005 extends BitTorrent to support distributed hash tables. A trackless torrent dictionary does not have an announce key. Instead, a trackless torrent has a nodes key. Nodes host, port, host, port. For example, nodes 127.0.0.1, 6881, your router node, 4804. The specification recommends that nodes should be set to the k closest nodes in the torrent generating client's routing table. Alternatively, the key could be set to a known good node such as one operated by the person generating the torrent. Multiple trackers, BEP0012 extends BitTorrent to support multiple trackers. A new key, announce list, is placed in the topmost list. HTTP seeds, BEP0017 extends BitTorrent to support HTTP seeds. A new key, HTTP seeds, is placed in the topmost list. This key's value is a list of web addresses where torrent data can be retrieved. HTTP seeds, http, www.site1.com/ source1.php, http, www.site2.com/ source2.php. Private torrents, BEP0027 extends BitTorrent to support private torrents. A new key, private, is placed in the info dictionary. This key's value is 1 if the torrent is private. Private 1. Merkle trees, BEP0030 extends BitTorrent to support Merkle trees. The purpose is to reduce the file size of torrent files, which reduces the burden on those that serve torrent files. A torrent file using Merkle trees does not have a pieces key in the info list. Instead, such a torrent file has a root hash key in the info list. This key's value is the root hash of the Merkle hash. Info. Root hash E6BDEBC5D55DA0A77F4BB1B57D88D79483857. Examples, single file. Here is what a deb-encoded torrent file for a file Debian 503 and 64 CD1 ISO might look like. Announce http, tracker.debian.org 6969/. Announce, info, name Debian 503 and 64 CD1 ISO, piece length 262,144, length 678,301,696, pieces 841 E846 BC5 B6 D7 BD6 E9 or 3D D9 E5 51559 C82 ABC1 D14 F16 31 D7 76008 F83772 A170 C424116181990 A4. Note: pieces here would be a 51 KIB value 160 equals 414,080 bits. Multiple files. Here is what a deb-encoded torrent file for two files, 111 txt and 222 txt, might look like. Announce http, tracker.site1.com/. Announce, info, name directory name, piece length 262,144, files, path, 111 txt, length 111, path, 222 txt, length 222, pieces 6A8 AF7 EDA 90 bar 9 F851831073 C48A6 B7 B7 E9 FIB 8A43 D9 D9 65 A47 F7 5488 D3 FB47 D2 C586337 A20 B9 F. See also, Glossary of BitTorrent terms, magnet links, references. External links, official BitTorrent specification,